are you guys? It's cold. We're getting ready for a storm here. Oh, you're welcome, Jelly Bee. Good morning. Good morning. It's so refreshing. You know what I mean? Like, it's so refreshing to not have to worry anymore. In today's video, well, the one I have on TikTok, on my third account, he says Shannon and then says Danielle. So it's kind of fun that I don't have to like clip that out, you know. So sorry. I was taking my time this morning. I got up, I slept late a little bit and been doing my stuff, and so, oh good, Elijah. Good morning to you again. So, sorry, Saturday, I have nothing going on today. So it's kind of nice, I don't have to get up, you know, and get ready for a sporting event or whatever. So, you can, Loretta, you can, little baby steps. Jerry, I can't get that other drawing. Jerry's son drew us a flying monkey. Yeah, no. I feel so good now, you know? I don't even worry. It's like, did he say Jan? Yeah. He started to say my mom's name. Oh, Louise. I'm sorry you're in the hospital. That sucks. So, Az or whoever asked, how am I related? No, Dan is not my brother. My mom married his dad. So, very simple. It's not that difficult. No blood relation, yada, yada, yada. So, I can't get the other, sorry. Rocky was trying to call me. Let me text her really quick. Hold on. Just started my live. I'll call you when I'm done. Okay. Rocky went to FaceTime me. So, anyhow, yeah, we are husband and wife. Technically, if you want to label it, yes, step siblings. The blasphemy of it all. Blasphemy. Step brother, step sister. How dare us? Oh my God, wasn't that funny? Poor Danielle. I didn't know. Yes. Jockey. Jockey. Oh, hi, Hecka. It's not weird. It's only weird because you make it weird. It's not really weird. Happens all the time. You know what I mean? You just can't talk about it because people make you feel like shit for it. For nothing. That's why. Oh, but it's there. Now that we're here, people are actually talking about it and saying, yeah, we have cousins, we have this, we have that, who got married. Yep, we have a stepbrother, stepsister who got married too. It comes out, the more people come out and talk about it and normalize it. It's, yeah, Jockey. It's like Benifer. We're just gonna call him Jockey. Yeah. No, I don't even know if it would necessarily be that weird or if we lived together. Maybe. I don't know. I didn't do it, so I don't know. Anywho. Oh, Judy, it's so wonderful. Like, every day, I want to come on and I just want to say, hey, my mom Janice and Ed married. It's out. I feel so good saying it. No, I mean, I think it's different. I don't know. I can't talk on that because it wasn't our situation. But yes, every day I just multiple times might say it repeatedly, just because it sounds so great to say. Hey, my mama married Ed. My mama, Janice, you know, her name, married Ed. Yeah, there you have it. You know, Judy, it was really funny this morning. He doesn't necessarily remember my mom. Becca, I'm going to do one today. He doesn't necessarily remember my mom, but like this morning, if you follow TikTok, my Mrs. DSal NorCal 3 page, he started calling me Janice, and he stopped himself. A lot of time, people today said, did he say Jan? He started to say Janice and then caught himself. So he'll do that, but not really like talk. You mean his stepfather, Jess? He's my father-in-law. I never called him father, right? Never thought of him as a father or father figure. Never thought of him as anybody other than a pain in my ass, right? I didn't like him growing up. And so, and really just found a love for him in the last, 2 years of caring for him. Never had this before. So, yes, bae, all the time. I was just there on Thursday. My brother and sister married another brother and sister. That's funny. They swapped. So Pop married my mom. Yeah, or my mom married Pop. Pop. I don't know, Becca, Mark's coming up. No, he wasn't strict. I mean, he was just an ass, you know? But that's neither here nor there. No, I didn't listen to him. I mean, the only parenting was done by my mom. That's it, you know? So, anywho, I know, it feels great. Like, Dan gets mad at me when I keep saying that. I don't know why, but it was such a pressure, a relief to have all those idiots out there thinking they knew best. Maybe they did. Maybe all those idiot trolls out there knew best. But I still haven't forgiven you for using my mom as obit nasty. And whoever it is, the handle of the main rag tag mag, I know who you are. I know where you live. Not really, but I know who you are. So I hope you're sitting, I hope you have an ounce of just shame. I really do. Because you wasted a lot of time searching. You wasted a lot of time digging. You wasted a lot of time posting shit that wasn't your business, as well as disrespecting a dead woman by putting out her obit for your gain. For your gain. For your gain. And it was female. It was a female. Yeah, so Ed was a picker, Ada. Ed was a picker. He would poke, he would prod, he would do things to irritate the... No, this isn't. So it's gonna take a minute, you guys, for me to get over that. So I apologize if you have to hear that every day. It pisses me off. It feels like an elephant has left the room. But I want her name, GSR. I want her name. I want to talk with her. Oh boy, do I ever. Oh boy, do I ever. So what I'm gonna do eventually, I'm gonna give it some time, and then I'm going to switch this over to a sub-live. So I thought, let me just start it off, get everybody in here, and then I will switch over. When did I move in with Ed? I don't think we moved in together until my mom and him married. So I was like 10-ish. They dated for a long time. And, you know, breakups in between that and my mom trying to vacate and fuck. He hunted her down and whatever. But hindsight is 2020, right? Because then I wouldn't have met the love of my life and wouldn't have had my beautiful family. So it is what it is. So they married. I can't exactly remember, you guys, but I'm gonna say 10-ish, give or take. So we didn't live together till about there. Trish, if you cancel the other one, yes, this is gonna be the subscription one. You hate to tell me this, but Deanna's getting Alzheimer's. No, that's called Fern. That's called Fern. And are you a master predictor of who's getting Alzheimer's? So Josh, yes. So Josh, Dan and I share Ed. No, Dan and I share, well, we kind of do, but Dan and I share Josh. Yeah, so for those of you new, that is why I'm extremely close to that family and those nieces and nephews. So I call Josh my brother, yes, because he's my mom, right? So, and thanks, Melissa. And Dan's close with him, like he's with all his brothers, but not like mine. You know what I mean? Dale, he's done that for his whole life. Dan's called what you call lazy and ADHD. So, yeah. Dan is ADHD. So as long as I've known him, he has done that. He doesn't give two shits. That's one thing about Dan you guys have to realize, is that he doesn't care, He doesn't care. He one time, we had a crab feed, and we went, and he had this shirt on that was in the giveaway pile, and he took it out of there, and it's bleached, right? It got all bleached. He wore it. He doesn't give two shits about it. Didn't care. Did you say you're really close to your brother Josh? Yes. Yep. Very close to my brother Josh. So Josh is technically my half brother. He's technically Dan's half brother. My mom and Ed had a baby, Josh. But I'm closer with him. Like, it's an extension of my mom. I don't like those GSR either. So, zero fucks. And I don't give zero fucks anymore. It feels so good. I feel so empowered. Thank you to the bitch who put all my shit out there. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for making it a source of contention for 3 months, 4 months, however. But thank you now, because bitch, I'm winning, not you. It's what these trolls don't realize. Yeah. It's one of those things that I realize, Here they are, thinking, right? She's got all the power. And I gave her the power for a long time because I didn't know what to do with it, And because we were trying so hard to keep our business, the family line out of it for Ed, right? For Ed, and wanting to maintain his dignity for whatever, blah, blah, blah. So, but now that she wanted to be a fucking dagger in my side, and now that I finally said it, I took back my power. It has, literally been bugging me for months. I felt defeated. I felt bullied, harassed, especially with, the obit and shit circling around. It was sad to me. It was sad that people would dig that low. But now, it's crazy how powerful I feel. I got it. It's powerful how much more powerful I feel. Right? And a lot of you have said that. A lot of you had said that. A lot of people said what they don't realize. They just created a monster. Yeah, I'm the monster in a good way. Right? They created somebody who has been developing a thick skin, confidence, right? Trying to slough off insecurities and learning to be a better person. And with their tidal wave of shit, they just created me to be more powerful. Because that's it. That's all you got. Keep digging. Because that story you thought was your defining moment is no longer. It's mine. So, thank you for that. I have been walking around with an extra skip in my step. You know? An extra skip in my step for the idiot. So I'm confused because I don't know if I should thank her or if I should. So I'm still mad at her. I'm still mad at her. And it's a female. It's a female. A female started this shit. A female. I'm whistling from every orifice of my body. Both holes down there and everything else. She should be ashamed. I mean, I don't care. She started the whole Danielle thing. Now I can put my Facebook page back up. Y'all FBI agent shit going in my Facebook page, being all nosy and shit. Y'all crazy. Actually, I'm still gonna leave that on private. But y'all don't need to know all that. Y'all don't need to know all that. But whoever you are, I got your name. Be scared. Because you got a whole shit ton of supporters that back me up, ready to give you a piece of their mind. They can't wait. And it's funny because my friend GSR was trying to put her handle name up for all to see, and it kept getting taken down. Kept getting, interesting. Yeah. We got a lot of people who want to tell you, no, you know what, Karen? She is not worth my time, but I do want to give her a little piece of my mind about my mom's obit. That's it. That's it. That's the only thing I'm pissed off at her for, is my mom's obit. Completely off the cuff, completely just the low of the low. Yes, I grew up with it. Yes. Yes. It'll give me peace. You're right. It'll give me peace. Shit. Heather. I don't know. So anywho, thank you to all the destroyers out there with a mission. It didn't work. So thank you for the extra boost of confidence. Thank you for the relief I have. Now I can shout it from the rooftops. Dan and I are stepbrother, stepsister, if you need to have a label. If not, my mama married Ed. And there you have it. So, yeah, the obit thing, I will never get rid of. It's gonna take me a moment to get over it. That literally broke my soul. That broke my soul. Oh, thanks, Melissa. Anywho. Yes, my mom's probably shocked, actually. My mom's probably shocked. She's probably like, what? How did that happen? Yes, Red Lady. Do I know who personally? The one who did all that? No. I don't know if I know her. I don't know if I know her. Hi, Slick. How are you? Yeah. Stop from now on when I can while I'm watching live. Yes, you should. Sarah, or dance, or just move. You know what? Just move. Happy birthday, Zainab. So, anyhow, I got the coolest picture from Jerry. He sent a flying monkey picture, sketch. The other one can't come in. But I love it. I can't wait. I want it. So, hi, Ryan. Hi, Jennifer. Let's see. Did I miss something? I don't know. So anyhow, that's it. Cold in Tennessee today. Yeah, did you guys get snow with all that blizzard wide over there? What time is it here? It is 9, almost 10 o'clock. Hi, Careless. Shit. Slick. Shit. Yeah, it's the coolest thing. But I don't know if you guys want to walk around with a penis tip on the gun, but it's exactly what we talk about. It's the greatest thing. So people, you know, Michelle, not too bad. Not too bad. Not too bad. Not yet. So, nothing going on today. Said Mark's coming over at 2. I do kind of want to go get my wine in Lodi. Wine in Lodi is about 25, 30 minutes from us. So I was thinking about, he doesn't, Brenda. He came and opened the door and gave me a rolling of the eyes. But, you know, for me, again, it's all part of our own journeys, right? It's his mine as much as it is his. I need to, it feels refreshing after the, you know, just the struggles that I've had throughout time. And to be able to shout it from the rooftops feels so good for me. It's like a cleansing. It's like a healing for me. And that's what he doesn't understand. Do you think it's because someone, you know, no, I mean, everybody knows, see? You know what I mean? Like, everybody who knows us knows. It's not a secret. We just refrain from telling social media for different reasons. My mom's always picking on mine. Ling Twins is my favorite. Hearing stories how proud your mom is of you. Oh, Erica, I bet she is. I bet she is. So, as a Kentuckian, oh Lord. The pressure is off for me. And so it's a different thing for Dan than it is for me, right? And that's what he doesn't understand is I have been so conflicted with the way people have made me feel over all these years that I felt that it was hard for me to talk openly about it unless I trusted you and knew you, because to me it seemed like such I knew it wasn't a bad thing, but it's been made to be. And so when I was younger, right, I built up this insecurity really about it. And even to this day, until this troll went out and did all this bullshit, I was still conflicted. I still don't tell people a lot of things because I want to be able to trust you. You know, I wanted to be able to like you because I found out that if people have an utmost trust and like, they don't judge. They're just like, oh, and, you know, it's kind of like, I don't know. It just, I can't help how I felt. I can just know that's how I felt. So, being able to come to terms and talking about it. And then when we blew up on social media, I was worried, right? Because I was worried about, no, Slick, he calls me that ever so often. I was worried. I was like, how's that gonna affect us? Like, what are we gonna do? Like, Dan's like, I'm not worried about it. But I was struggling. I was struggling with it. What is your problem? He's mad. And being here as well is a different ride for me. It's freeing. And then I got him walking off, shaking his head. Thanks, Julie. Yeah. I'm free. The first time in years that I felt so free. If it's weird. Yeah. I don't know. I hate when he does that shit to me. Because he just, he reacts but doesn't give me, this is my fucking platform too. Yeah, so that pisses me off. It is very stressful to live with a dementia patient. And Mala, it's the hardest thing for me to do because I go in with my full heart, If I like you and I think that, you're a good person, I'm in. And sometimes I felt like I have a good read on people. And it was frustrating for me because I haven't been so correct in my judgments lately. My marriage is fine. He just has to understand and let me do what I gotta do to continue my healing. And if he's not happy with it, I don't know. Yeah, my Donna, I've been doing this for, I've been running for 2 years. I've been running since I was 14. So I am, Kim. I feel like a new woman. Yeah, I believe so, Dove, And that's the problem, I think. People who are scammers, people who are looking to take, people are jealous. People see, but they don't want to see because they're intimidated by people who are real, strong. And it's sad because they try to take advantage of you or they try to tear you down. It's really sad. Timsy, but you gotta remember, I've been doing it. Well, I'm getting ready to take this off, I'm sweating. But the mosquitoes are out and it's horrible. So, yeah, so, anywho, I'm itchy, I'm hot. Why you run with a hoodie? Because it's cold, Mary. We're getting a storm. It's chilly, I have shorts on. Rebecca, who knows? No, but Kay, I don't agree with that. I do agree, but I don't, because I have my own platform. What am I supposed to do? Be quiet about it? Am I supposed to just sit back and be like, oh, not talk about it anymore? I think it's a great story. I think it's great, and I do things differently than him. It doesn't make me wrong, right? It doesn't make me wrong. It just makes it different, and maybe not the way he does it, but it's the way I do it. And we need to be respectful to each other's journey. And because this has been so hard for me over the years, that finally, I don't care, my marriage doesn't need rekindling. My marriage is fine. I don't think Ed here or when he passes is going to do anything differently, but make us sad and lonely because for 3 years we've been taking care of the man. I don't think it makes me wrong. Yes, he remembers me, and that's what's crazy is because to being in a tumultuous relationship for most of our years, he still remembers me with love and kindness, So yes, they were married until she passed. It's still, yes, it's still different. But I don't feel like it's fair for him to also look at me like I'm doing something wrong. Honestly. Yes, Heather, I think so too. No, he's not my father. There's no blood relation, no. He's not my father. I have a father. My father's name is Pierre Behar, and he's dead. He said, poor Danielle. It's so funny because, so the thing is that, poor Ed, and people are like, I wonder what he meant by that, right? The poor Danielle thing last night. That's okay, pray. That was the funny thing about that is poor Danielle. People are like, what do you think he meant by that? And if I were to guess, he, in his joking way, would have said, look at poor Danielle, she's stuck here with us, type of a thing, because that's what he would say. And in the past, when I have videoed him and I say, I take care of you, right? And he says, well, that's not a great job to have, right? That's not fun. It's because, I do think there's a lot of remembrance going on in his brain. You just can't place it. A woman that fell in love with her stepdad? Wow. Are they still together? I mean, I can see that happening too. Yeah, that's what, and honestly, that's what I would guess if I had to bet any money on what he meant by that. That's what I would guess. I used to be a member of Viaggio, and they kind of pissed me off. I had actually my 40th birthday party at Viaggio. Michael David is good. My only one that I have left there, because there's so many good ones in Elk Grove, is Lang Twins. Lang Twins is my hands down favorite. I loved Macchia, Viaggio, M2. That's what I used to have. And then Lang Twins, but that was the only one I kept. And to rebuild a person's beneath. Yeah, I mean, and here's the thing. I don't want people to misunderstand me. My journey with him is much different than the journey he had with his kids. That's what makes this relationship a little bit complicated, right? He never was a bad man. He never would injure anybody. He would never harm anybody. He would never abuse, and he was just stubborn. He liked his way, and he was very opinionated. And some of you can say that you've seen those traits in him, and there's some moments that you can, when we're bickering, back and forth, and he has that look in his eye. Some of you have said things like, ooh, I can see, yes. So, without getting too much into it, it was a battle between him and I, really. And I don't know if his kids had the same type of relationship. I don't know. But he liked to poke, he liked to irritate, he liked to, get you riled up. And then he would say, what's wrong with you? And at the beginning of his stay here, he would do that to me. So just means that he handled things differently. Doesn't make him a bad guy, right? He still had love for me, even despite our relationship. Obviously, you can see it. And he never holds any grudges, right? He doesn't begrudge me for being the way I was to him. So, it's kind of crazy considering that he could do that. I couldn't do that. It took me a long time to get over it. So he's very frugal. Very frugal. Yeah, very frugal. Didn't like to spend money, that type of thing. But he still had his family values, It still didn't take away from his love for his children and his family. So don't get it twisted. He's still the same man there. His personality has just softened, right? It's just softened. And he's become more sweet and more enjoyable, right, to be around. Yes, the repetition and shit gets annoying and daunting, but he's much calmer. He's much sweeter. He doesn't have that fight always in him to be right? To be right. So, yes, he is careless. It was his way, but I think his dad was the same way. I really do. I was so nasty. So somebody had asked how he felt when he found out about us. He loved it. He was so excited, honestly. I remember when we finally told him, once we knew we were going to further the relationship, he was like, great. That's great. I'm happy. He's calmer now. Yes, James. Not before. You got to remember, he was ADHD. He's ADHD. So mixed in with that and his stubbornness and his all the other issues that all the other flaws, it was a very hard man. Yes. So, and that's the great thing about Ed. Through all of the shit, when you were in need, that was his purpose. That was his purpose. His purpose in life is to be front and center. He almost, in a way, I don't know if he would have allowed me to take care of my mom. Like sometimes I think back at that time, and he was so, don't worry about it, I got it. Because Andrew was a baby and the kids were young and all that stuff. And so there's times that I don't even know, if he would have allowed me to do what he did, because there was a certain protectiveness he had, over her. Like, it's my wife, I've got her, I'm a doctor, I know what to do, and I was there every day until she died. But I think other than that, he was kind of possessive over her. But that's what he was good for. When his kids needed something, front and center. There was no questions asked. So that's a great quality. Have I ever felt like an outcast? Sometimes. Sometimes yes. Sometimes yes. Oh, really, Tammy? Yeah, I think so. Yes, it does, Mrs. M. I've told you guys all the time, when we finally embark on our truth and our story, everybody's gonna be like, oh my God, it makes so much sense. It makes sense why he remembers Danielle. It makes sense why, he's always thanking her. And it makes sense, like all the little things, Josh and the kids, and I told you all it was going to. Yes, Emily. We just talked about it the other day. Yes, Danielle. And yes, he took care of her until the day she died. My mom met Ed through, she was a dental assistant a couple doors down from Ed's office, and the dentist loved Ed and hooked them up. How often do you work out? Every day. So, yeah. Yes, Emily. So 2 days ago we did a live on TikTok, on YouTube. So it's there if you have YouTube, you can watch it. He didn't really raise me. I was just in his house. It's not like, it's literally no communication. Shut up. You're not talking to me. Silence. Does it make me sad that Ed doesn't remember her? No, because he does. I know when Hannah comes home, he'll call me Janice sometimes, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, it was just really hard for me because I'm still really, like, people don't understand, the separation in that house. It was literally my mom and me. Like, we would have conversations at the dinner table and we wouldn't talk. He would ask me a question, I would ignore him. So, yeah, thanks, Charlene, I appreciate it. He did, he started calling me. And then he corrected it really quick. I'll probably stop at 4 and walk a little bit. I'm about a half a mile left. So, yeah, I don't know who it was, but Thomas, my mom hit you. I just switch accounts. I don't know, I don't know what you said. I didn't see it. Yes, and that's what I want to remember. It's my biggest thing with that, because I want to remember my relationship with him now, right? it's so hard, you know, sometimes, yes, I get triggered, right? We're human. We're gonna, things he does, things he says when he's feisty are still going to irk me sometimes, depending on my mood, right? If I'm tired, if I'm more agitated with the day, stuff like that. That is going, those types of things, you know, but for the most part, this is what we need to remember, is now. My mom, he's your husband, but I don't think of him as that father figure, you know, I never did. I used to always get really like anxious about it when people would say that. I'm like, nope. Yeah, nope. I have dad. Nope. Is it okay to tell Grandpa he's in his 50s? No. Because then he's so stubborn he'll want to do other things. Yeah, well, Sally, none of those Facebook accounts are ours. Yeah, those aren't any of ours, as those are ours. I diet, but I had like a whole bag of nerd crunchy clusters last night, so how long? I don't really remember how long. Late 20s, 30s? I don't know. High 20s? I don't really remember. So it's so long ago, you know. My mom's been gone it'll be 18 years in a week. So the like specifications of everything, I don't really have very much anymore. Yeah. And I think, and to be honest, like, how many stepchildren Swifty, like, says that, you know, because I think we're in the back of our minds, you know, we hope or we pray that our parents will get back together someday, right? And so I think it's like an interference for us because we're so stubborn and we love our dad that we don't have the space for anybody else, right? And then if you don't get along with them, it makes it even worse. You're welcome, Jennifer. So it just gets very, recent video, we kind of told it like about 2 days ago. Your ADHD? I don't have the answers for that. She said that, ironically, your mom would probably be taking care of Ed instead. Probably, because she would have been retired by now, and she probably would have been doing the same thing, right? And in the same house that they built, most likely. So, I know. Oh, somebody loved me his house. He loved me more than my dad. And Angela, I know Ed loved me, right? Even through just everybody's perceptions of life and relationships are different, right? His perception of our relationship was just an errant teenager, right? Obviously, it didn't stop him from loving me. Because, I don't know, but it was quite apparent in his whole life with my mom and the excitement when I married Dan and now present day, right? I gave him children. I gave him his son back. Dan likes to say blah, blah, blah. So, no. I think Dan, I think he just, I don't know, the way I talk about it. At the beginning, I was kind of teasing and I don't know. He wouldn't tell me, he just stormed off. So anyway, bye Samantha. I do some weights, not a lot. I'm getting old, my traps hurt me. I carry a lot of stress in my shoulders and my neck. So it gets harder to do weights. So I keep everything lighter, more do accessory work than anything. Hi, Deeds. Where were you? No, Ed never tried to discipline me, ever. No, he knew better. And if he did, I just ignored him. You know? Emily, it's on my YouTube live 2 days ago. So much why you were more expecting. No, I didn't ever think I was going to take care of him. I didn't know this was my future. I didn't know this was my future at all. I didn't think I would. You asked me this 3 years ago. I've been like, hell no, I can't do that. And it's not going to work. Yes, my Donna, yes. Life is unpredictable. You know, you have no idea what you're going to do, right? You have no idea what you're going to do, how life is going to turn out, and where you're going to be, you know? Who knew Dan was going to retire from law so early? Who knew, you know, he was going to have this tumultuous shit with his partner, you know? You can't predict that stuff. And it just came and we were able to do it. Teddy, if anything that you've picked up on in the last couple days of talking about this, you can only imagine what happened, right? We don't want to focus too much attention. He never did drugs. He was an alcoholic. He was never abusive. He was a difficult man. He was, yes, me and Josh are very close. Yeah. It's weird, Linda. You know, if you think about the things that transpired, you know, my mom meeting Ed, right? My mom marrying Ed for, you know, kind of like a business deal. I want another kid, you know, I want safety and security for my daughter, and I want another baby. And then finding the love of my life, you know, and her pushing pretty much to us together. Pushing us together by saying, hey, wake up, you know? And I knew what she was thinking because she lost her true love. And I knew she, you know, she said, wake up. If you're okay with this, then let it go. But if you're not, then you need to do something about it. So without her, who knows if we would have been back together. Most likely Dan would have married that other woman. So Josh's kids, yes. So Josh is half of my mom and his kids are half of her. Yeah. So those are my babies. I call myself a Gramanti. No other woman would clean his side table. What are you talking about? Me? Oh, I'm glad, my Donna. And there's a really touching live from 2 days ago. Dan kind of told his side, and I mean, we're both, emotional about it. And so on and so forth. So it is a really beautiful story. I told you guys, once you knew, you're either going to fall in love with it or you're going to be like, these people. But it really is an amazing thing. So, and who could have, the lives on YouTube are recorded. Yeah. The lives on YouTube are recorded. And my kids, my kids are close to them. My kids love that family. My 3 kids love seeing their cousins, that maybe they do find, Jennifer was really close with my mom. My mom died when Jennifer was turning, I think, 8. So she died 3 days before Jennifer's birthday. we were coming home from Hawaii, and that last day we were there, she finally took her last breath. And so Jennifer remembers my mom. Of course, time's going on, so it's becoming more faint. But they, Hannah, not so much, and that makes me sad, and Andrew doesn't at all. But in my heart, right, I know that she got to meet him, right? So my kids love that family. My kids, Hannah's so attached to them. Bye, Beck. Good luck at the soccer game. Whoever's playing. Hi, Dope. So it is amazing, it's amazing. And our kids are probably really genetically close to those kids, if you think about it. I'm not the mom of Josh. That would make me, Do you know what that would have made me do if I had Josh? Y'all, come on. Hiya, hiya, ho, hiya, hoya, hiya. Yes, my mother is Josh. Yes, my mom is the mom. Mom, Josh and I share a mom, Janice. Hello. 9.5. 9.5. Yes. I was 9. Yeah. For different reasons, ST. We weren't ready yet to talk about it for Ed. We wanted the focus to remain on Ed and the positivity and the sweet man he is today. 3 days before my son's 5th birthday. Yes. So my mom, died 3 days. That plane ride home was the most god-awful flight ever imaginable. So, do the kids joke about you and Dan and laugh? Not like you think. Look how old my kids are. You know what I mean? It's not like that anymore. They do fun things, like they tell everybody. They think it's cool. Yeah, it is cool. It is cool. Hannah Banana. Greetings from Kenya. Greetings back from Sacramento. So, put it on a max setting for a sub. Hi, Jess. How are you? All right. So, I'm going to switch over for the last part to a sub live. So everybody who's a sub, stay tight. Everybody who's not, goodbye. I'll see you on another day. Sub live on. Switch. Allow preview. Let me see. 6-minute preview off. Okay. So now it should be just a sub live. Why did I get Millie? One day, I've always wanted a pig. I thought pigs were the coolest thing on the planet. And my friends started at the time, my acquaintance at the time, started breeding them. And she literally lives like, 5 miles down the road. And so I just said I wanted to get a pig. I just wanted to get a pig. I told Dan I was going to get a pig, and he didn't believe me. And 6 weeks later, I brought home a pig. Picked her out, put my deposit on her, and there's the story of Millie Pig. Yep. Yes, Cheryl. Sub live on. Inactivate the sub live. Thanks, user. Do you think she was a miniature? So here's the thing. And it's hard for people to understand because they're like, is that supposed to be a miniature pig? Well, comparative to the hog, she is miniature. Hogs are like 8 to 9 to 1,000 pounds. So Millie could be like maybe, Dan says she's like 275. I don't think she's that heavy. I think she's probably like 200 pounds. So yes, she is mini compared to the hog. So that's where they get the mini. Now, when you see tiny, 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 tiny pigs, they're either being malnutritioned, right, to keep them small, or they're just brand new, right? Millie was that small when we first got her. She was that small. So, no, she's not 300 pounds. Leave my pig alone, Salty Tooth. Meanie. Dan loves her, yes. And that's the funny thing about us, is that we may bitch, about each other bringing animals home, but they're just a part of us. We all love them. Even when I was pissed off about, freaking Donnie, I knew I was gonna love the fucker, and he is a fucker, just so you know. He is a fucker. How much pigs are similar to dogs. They are smarter than dogs. Pigs are fucking smart, just so you know. No, I would never intentionally feed my pig bacon. That's cannibalism. Hello, Alex. Bart is a little shit too. I'm gonna tell you why I don't get any more animals. Because who takes care of them? That's me. And I'm at full capacity here with what I got already on my plate. What's the story behind Coco? I'll tell you. I never thought I would want a German Shepherd. I never thought I would love a German Shepherd as much as I do. And I would have never bought one. It was one of Hannah's long life dreams, is to have a German Shepherd. And it was stupid. There's a German Shepherd that lives around the corner from us, and it used to chase her. So she used to be so scared. So she was like, I'm gonna get a German Shepherd because I want people to be scared of me when I'm walking her. Really stupid. But anyhow, she brought her home. We were gone. Best dogs. Crows. The hell? So that's how we got her. And I'm the most attached to her. I love my Baxter. But it's weird because every animal is different, right? You love all your animals, but you're closer to some than others. Baxter's a love, but Coda's just different. I think that, I don't know why, but if every animal I've had, she kills me. Like, my heart breaks just thinking about it. I was telling people the other day, yes, everybody, people and animals. I was telling somebody the other day, there was this TikTok I saw, and it was this woman crying in bed every day. She'll not me in the morning every day, thinking about what I'm gonna do when my dog dies. And it's so funny because I literally think that every day. Now that she's gonna be like 4, I'm like, what am I gonna do when she dies? My life's gonna end. My heart's gonna break. I'm gonna be in mourning. I'm gonna be in depression. I'm not gonna be able to maintain myself. So when I saw that, it was so funny because I was like, oh my God, this is me. I swear to God, every day I wake up and I see her face and I'm like, what am I gonna do without you? What am I gonna do? What's the age difference? I think Coco's gonna be 4 this year. Or 3, 4? Shit. I don't know. Baxter is I think there's a couple years. I think there's 4 years difference, 3 years difference, something like that. No, Baxter has to be older than that. Baxter has to be going on 8 or something. So we got Baxter when Hannah was a freshman in high school. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He's gonna be 9. Shit. Oh no, Twyla, I'm so sorry. And we have a friend who has a German Shepherd who's a baby, and she's dying. She has this weird fungal infection that they can't fix. And I'm like, ever since she told me that, that's all I think about is my baby. Yeah, Baxter. Yeah. Baxter, we got her freshman year. So that freshman year was high school 4 years. She graduated in 4 years. So that's 8. So he's going to be 9. He's going to be 9 this year. So then Coda's, I think, going to be 4. Yesterday was 10 years. I got your birthday for Maggie. It broke me. It's gonna break me. I already am broken when I think about it. I start crying even just thinking about it, Sue. It's crazy. Thanks, Chrissy. No, I just wanted to do a little bit just to have any questions. And I know people are still asking lots of questions because it's gonna be something that is gonna go on for a minute. And so I'm just like, let's try to clear it up as quickly as we can. Anybody has any questions, anybody has anything. So I just wanted to see if there's anything I can do, anything I can say. And then I was like, I'm gonna end up with a subscription at the end. Why did my mom move to California? Good question. Good question. Good question. My thought, I'm gonna tell you what my perception of that was. My mom lost her first love. She vacated that relationship. She should have waited. I mean, honestly, let's be real. She was just being selfish, and she wanted him to. I wish she were alive. I wish I would have asked these questions. But from putting the pieces together of my mom, I think that she fucked up. It was like she wanted him. He wanted her to wait for him, and she said, "Fuck you. If you're going away to medical school, I'm not waiting." Just a totally knee-jerk reaction, right? Knee-jerk reaction. Yes, it's been really weird, user. More positive in the last several days since this story has become out. I don't want to jinx that, but I put it in the universe. But yes, I agree. And so she met my dad, right? Fast forward to her on the rebound. Met my dad, very charismatic, very, handsome. And they did their thing. She fell hard. She wanted to change him. I think she just was always trying to make up for her loss, right? Your grandparents were stuck? Really? Huh. Go figure. And she got pregnant with me. It didn't tame my dad down. Sorry, it's a podcast. It was a podcast with these two girls who started years ago, and it's called Call Her Daddy. And they do their own thing separately. So my kids were big fans of them, and so yes, they don't have the very sexual podcast. Anyway, that's what it is. So I just like them because they're comfortable and great material. It's kind of weird for a 49-year-old to be wearing a sweatshirt that says what it says. But so I think my mom was just running away, honestly. I think she just ran away. And I think she loaded me up in the car and drove out to California. My Uncle Leo was doing flea markets in LA, and that was our first stop. And I don't know what the hell brought her to frickin' San Jose. I have no fucking idea. And then pretty much wasn't there long before she met Ed. And I think it was just, a security thing. Crazy. So crazy. Hi, Kath, how are you? And then here I am, It's so weird. My mom died early, too. She always had a feeling she was going to die early. She always thought she was going to die about 68. So it was a surprise to her when she lost her life at 53. But she always had this sense. So when I think about it now, right, at 49, and I try to put together the pieces of everything, I think to myself, God, how weird, how weird, how weird the way she chose to live out the rest of her life, right? Kind of crazy. Like it was planned. I need to get security for my daughter. I want at least one more child. And then fast forward years later when Dan was getting ready to move on and she said, get your shit together. I think she was comfortable knowing that her daughter would be taken care of. He loved me. And it's pretty amazing when you think about the whole thing behind it, right? She just said, wake up, lung cancer, primary lung, Linda, that I'd be okay. And I think, and here's this fast forward to when she was dying. And this is why it's so eerie to me when I think about it. It brings tears to my eyes. So I apologize if my tears start flowing. But, you know, pushing is the wrong term, but she woke me up and said, don't lose that. Don't lose what you had. You know, he's going to work hard for you. He's going to provide for you. You're going to have a beautiful family and you're going to be happy. Don't let him get away, right? She knew. And it was a sense of security for her, knowing that I would be okay, right? She almost could let me go. Now, fast forward to the week she was dying. We had a trip planned. We had a trip planned to Hawaii. We would go to Hawaii twice a year at that point in our lives, before soccer and life. And she was dying, and I was really struggling. I was really struggling with going because I didn't know, right? I didn't know, and I was there every day, spending time with her, kissing her, and just laying with her. And also, you know, if Ed needed, sometimes I would get there and he would go for a walk or, you know, do his thing. So it gave him a little bit of a break. And I remember looking at her because I was really struggling. And I said, Dan, you're going to have to, you just go. Well, our babysitter was going with us. I said, you go. I can't. I'm not going to lose. I can't, you know. I was really struggling. So the day before we were supposed to leave, I was with my mom. And I said, Mom, I don't think I'm going to go to Hawaii. I think I want to be here with you. And she said, and this was at the time, you guys, where she wasn't communicating very well. You know, it was everywhere. The cancer was eating everything, and her brain mostly. And so, like, you know, a good day she would say, the sky is purple, or whatever, you know. I want to eat, you know, whatever. It would be like, you know, the mud in the pan with the red thing, you know, and you're like, how am I supposed to decode that? And then at that point, she wasn't really talking much because I think she knew, you know. I think, Dan and I argue about this all the time, but I think she knew. I think she knew that because sometimes when she would talk, you know, she would give me this look like, shit, that's not what I want to say. So it was so hard for me. So she wasn't really talking. And I laid on the couch with her and I said, I'm not going to go. Okay, Deeds. And she said, and she just looked at me and she touched me. And she said, you go. I looked at her and I thought, Jesus, she hasn't formed something together like that in forever. And I said, you're going to miss me. You know, and I kind of joked with her. I didn't cry until I left, but I kind of joked with her and I said, oh, you would miss me too much. Oh, stop it. I'm not going to go. It's going to be too long. And what if I don't? You're going to miss me. And she looked at me, she smiled, and she said, go. Waved her hand and said, go. God, that was the hardest decision of my life. I knew. I just had a feeling she was going to die, and she did. I went, and some of you have heard the story of me talking before, like 2 to 3 days before she died. I was calling her every day, right? And never told you who was taking care of her mom. Nobody asked. Ed would hold up the phone to her and said, your daughter's on the phone. And so she would listen, and she wasn't talking. And I would, you know, whatever. So up and halfway through the trip, she would listen to me and talk to me. And like a couple days before, she wouldn't talk to me. You know, Ed's in the background laughing. You know, Ed's laugh, ha, 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 ha. And he goes, she doesn't want to talk to you. Ha, 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 you know. And she didn't. She didn't want to talk to me. And he said, I remember what he said. he said, but she talked to your brother though. And I thought, that bitch. What do you mean? She talked to Josh. The next day I called again, threw the phone, hid it away. Ed said the same thing. She did talk to Josh. Sorry, just it's not funny. And I think she knew I was going to be okay. She was done with me. She was done. The last bit of her energy needed to go to her son. Anyhow. So, I get it, you know, I get it. He was young. She knew I had Dan. She knew I had 3 beautiful kids, a great family. And she also told Dan, you guys will like this. Before she lost her communication abilities, she said, you better treat my daughter right. And if you don't, I'm going to haunt your ass. I'm coming back from the dead, and I'm going to haunt you until you get it right. She couldn't say goodbye to me. I think she already did. Dope. I think she did say goodbye to me. I think she said goodbye to me. I think she said goodbye to me the day I said goodbye to her on the couch. When I left for Hawaii. And I get it. She didn't have strength. She didn't have a lot of energy. And what she had, she wanted Josh to have it. And that's okay. I knew, I know. So, and it makes me sad because, yeah. No, Josh was at school, in the middle of finals. He couldn't leave. She did say goodbye to me in her own way. Yeah. And she did. She gave me probably one of the best blessings ever, right? Is what I have today. I think she knew, She knew. She was a smart woman. She didn't want me to make the same mistake she did. My mom didn't either. It's horrible. Sorry. And Josh is very lucky to have me. Hear that, Josh? We're lucky to have each other, in all honesty. Josh was, she died 18 years ago next Saturday. So Josh is, 30, he was 20, 22, 21, 21. He was just graduating college, so it was, he was in the middle of finals or midterms or something, and he couldn't leave, because I remember him saying, I can't leave, Danielle. I can't. I said, you better get here. Mom's not doing well. She's dying. She's dying. And he's like, I can't. It's too late. I can't do it. And Josh called me the day she died. Yeah, unexpected. I see it. I see death so differently. I was talking to a friend who I see like the Ed, the long goodbye, right? They call dementia, the long goodbye. I think Ed remembers, is always worried about Josh because in his mind, Josh is young, right? He lost his mom. I think there's so much that plays into that. And so he worries that he's still young, and needs help and support. Ed, Bill, Mark, and Josh are the three people he worries about the most. They were the three people who had the most need, right? The most need. So anyhow, my friend got unexpected news that one of a family friend that's like a second dad to her, is dying. He went in, thought he had constipation. Turns out that he is stage 4 stomach cancer everywhere. And the minute he went into the hospital, so he doesn't know. He hasn't woken up. He hasn't done all these things. So she's on her way to visit him just in case. Yeah, at least, and that's what they know. They know. They've already said their goodbyes to us. And, I said, God, I don't know if, I'm sorry if you take this the wrong way, but if I have to go, I want it to be like him. I want it just to go in, they open me up and find a different fucking story, and then I die. I don't want to suffer, I watched my mom suffer. I watched her body get eaten from the inside out from cancer. I see Ed, the long goodbye, he's 90, gonna be 92, and he's got dementia. And, given the choice, I'd rather do it this way, Ed's way. If I could be like Ed, calm and just healthy and do it that way. But man, I don't want my family to see me suffer. I don't want my family to see me suffer. It was so painful. And it's so difficult to remember that, and it stays with you forever. At least Ed's leaving a legacy behind, he's leaving his sweetness and a changed man in and of itself. And, God, what way? I don't want to do that to my kids. So please take me, let me fall asleep. Let me, go in with the pain and not come out, if it's stage 4 or something. Yeah, it was horrible. I mean, to see, and I always hate saying it, but I remember it was in January. My mom had gotten a stent in her esophagus because it was closing. And I remember going over there, and, Ed's like, your mom wants to shave her head, right? So he's like, I'll let you do that. So I would go up there, and I remember she had just gotten out of the shower, and I had never seen her naked. I've seen her in clothes, and she's skinny. But when I helped get her out of the shower, it's kind of a shock, It's when you see somebody without their layers on. I never cried in front of my mom. I cried one time in front of my mom when we found out she was pretty much dying. And she hugged me in the car. I had taken her to that appointment. I don't think Ed was there. And she said, I'm too young to die. I'm only 53. And we hugged and we cried. It's the only time I let my mom see me cry. I always felt that I needed to be strong for her. I needed to, I didn't want her to know that I was suffering and while she was dying, right? I wanted her to know that I was going to be okay, if any message I could get through to her. And the minute I walked out of her house, the tears, of course, flew. And then I would have to pull over because I couldn't see, and they lived up in the mountains, and it was complicated. But so I always refrain myself. But that moment that I saw her, helped her get out of the shower, the sound that came out of my mouth, I think I couldn't help it. It was like a, it took my breath away. It like, I was like, oh my, I couldn't hide it. And I was like, don't cry. Don't cry. She doesn't need this right now. I said, and I wrapped her up and I said, let me go. I have to pee really quick. Went in, dried my tears, composed myself, told myself to get my shit together. And then I went back in and shaved her head. Man. Yes, and it was only 1 week, Emily. Oh my God. Yeah, Janet, I do also believe that. Like, there's certain things, other than seeing my mom months ago sitting outside at my house, smiling at me, there's different things that happen, and I'm thinking, is that you, Ma? I hope she's with my kids. I hope she's with Josh. I hope she's with his kids. Me, I'd rather share her because I had her longer. You know what I mean? I had her longer. My kids had her longer. So I don't know. Oh, hi QQ. Thank you. I feel it. You guys listening to me, and you guys being here and showing me support and love and wanting to kick people's asses and all that shit is so much support. And I feel the hugs and I feel the love just coming through the screen. Josh, I think, resembles my mom. Yeah, and especially as he's aged. He does have some Salinger features, but I think primarily he's my mom's side. I'm gonna have the shower with my hair in a towel. Yeah, and as I've aged, I think I of course look like my dad, right? I mean, some of you have seen those pictures, and they're on yesterday's live if you wanted to watch that. I look like my dad, but I also look like my mom. It's really freaky. Like sometimes, the kids will, couple things, and I sound like her. There's some things I do with the kids, Josh's kids, and I'm like, oh my God, that's so mom. And Josh is like, I was just gonna say that. So, I do. I force it on Josh more because he's repressed a lot more. Josh is repressed a lot more. So like Rocky will ask him questions and, he'll say, oh, I don't know. So in the toes, we all have her toes. And I think that, Josh, it's funny because he has Ed's feet, but then he has my mom's little second toe. And so do his kids. It's the funniest thing. I say it all the time. I'm like, there's Grandma. Grandma Janice is right here in your toe. Did my mom have a Tennessee accent? Kind of like me, when she would go around her family, it picked up, but it, no. But yeah, I don't know. That's okay, Twyla. Yeah, it's sweet. And so Josh and it's funny because Rocky gets upset sometimes because she tries to connect, right? She wants Josh to talk about my mom. She wants the kids to be around the banter, of my mom, to just keep her. Rocky is a great woman. And she, but she gets frustrated because of course he doesn't really talk about things. So when I come over, I'll say, oh my God, this reminds me of my mom. And she'll be like, oh my God, thank you so much. Because I asked Josh and he's like, I don't know, I don't know. So I said, if you ever have a question about my mom, I love talking about her. My mom was born in Italy. Yeah, my mom was born in Italy. Yeah. Does Ed remember my mom? I don't think as much anymore. I mean, her name's still in his his brain, but I don't know if he remembers my mom. Once in a blue moon, he might say something about her, but it's not really there. Yes, Angie, we both share him. Yes, which is fucking cool. And yeah, somebody had asked about the joking, like, do your kids joke with us about the situation? No, because they've known it their whole lives, right? They tell their friends, they think it's great. They also say, stupid shit and like to get rises out of people, as does Josh, with the situation. Yeah, it's my sister, it's my brother. They're married, type of thing. So everybody knows. It's not like it's, it was funny. Does he remember you grew up with him? Not always. No, for the most part, no. But he did say something interesting the other day when I wasn't even on a live, and he said, I've known you since you were 6 or younger, and I was like, whoa, where did that come from? You know what I mean? So it was pretty badass that he dredged that up, because it's been a long time since he's remembered that. So I thought that was pretty fucking cool. It's there. Listen, people don't realize everybody's stages with this disease is so different, right? And they shock you sometimes by the things that he says. It's great. I am happy, Kathy. I'm so less stressed. And I think it's so great is because I feel amazing. No, Emily, I don't think that at all, because he would always, at the beginning, he would say stuff about my mom all the time. And I was like, I would walk away because I couldn't. I was at a time where it was difficult for me to talk about her. It still is. You guys still see I cry. It's hard for me to talk about my mom without getting upset. I do have a glow. Full time. Does he remember? I don't really know, I don't really know. I think he just knows I'm somebody that he feels very comfortable with. I think he knows that, I'm very familiar to him. And he's comfortable, And it's like, when those stupid ass trolls say shit like, we need to take him away from that mean ass woman, that rude bitch of a woman, and it's like, yes, take him away from the one person in his life, right, that he feels the most comfortable around, right? Feels the most comfortable. He feels calm. I'm his calming mechanism. He feels safe with me, right? It doesn't matter. Oh, I do, Santorini, 100%. I was talking about that earlier. I don't know how long you've been here, but I do believe I said it's crazy, the disrespect, the relationship we had. But at the end of the day, he still loved me, His perception of our probably relationship would have been, he would say stuff like that all the time. He's just a teenager. What does she know? But I do. I think it's obvious now, right? How much he loves me. It was obvious when we got married and how happy he was. If you look in those pictures of our wedding, the smile on his face, the smile he has, That's so funny, Slick. Yeah, I'm overprotective of it, but that just happened, Dope. You got to remember that just happened. That was just something that's happened to me in the last 2 years, more so in the last year. Maybe, Susan, who knows? Maybe that's why, a little bit of my mom and me, and he knows I take care of him. Yeah, and he's happy. If you look at Ed in those pictures, that was one of the happiest days of his life. Hold on. I remember him telling my mom that, you know? I remember him telling my mom that. He was so happy. He was so happy. So Jean, the live yesterday on YouTube, Dan was showing the pictures. So if you scroll through that live, you'll see them. Yeah, my wedding was perfect. It was small. It was the people who were important to us, family and friends. Yes. So, you know, Dan and I met sparingly. Like, he was 10. I was like 4, 5, whatever I was. We met one time, then we didn't meet for a long time. And then I saw him scatterings. You know, if we went to Ed's parents' house, Dan would be there or whatever. And then, you know, sometimes family functions started happening, and then Josh came, and, you know, I think that's when more things started happening, was when Josh was introduced, and the family kind of blended more. No, you don't have to subscribe. I mean, you don't have to pay for YouTube, no. Has Dan's mom felt some type of way? Dan has said, Valeria, that Dan has said that I think she was worried at the beginning because Dan and his mom are very close. And I think at the beginning she was probably worried that he would be more connected to me and my mom, you know, that side, his dad being over, because if it was that house, I think she was just more worried that maybe their relationship would falter. But nothing other than that. I think, you know, at the beginning she worried when he told her. I don't even remember. Gosh. I think she worried, you know. I think everybody had a little worry because of the age gap at the time. And, you know, when you're 18 and somebody's, whatever, early 20s, you know, it's kind of a big gap emotionally and mentally. So I think there was the normal worries of, you know, is it gonna last? Are we gonna do this? Is this gonna, and here we are, 27 years later, you know, 27 years later. So I think my mom and Ed had 20 years difference. I have a dry patch. My seborrheic dermatitis is like horrible right now. And I always get it around my ears behind my ears, they crack. Ugh. So when you hear the way you make sure you sneak and respond, not sure, and who just said that really brightens my day. Jay, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. So yeah, so we've got quite the story. It's a great story, and I love talking about it. I love it. Because it is, when you really think about it. I think when you're younger, you don't appreciate the things that you appreciate when you're older. You know, the wisdom thing. And so the more, you know, I think about it, and I've thought about it over the last couple of years, especially with social media, and worrying that it could always be front and center, you know, that it's a really cool thing. It's really cool. And your mom, yeah, 20. How old was your mom when she married Ed? Gosh, I don't know. In her 30s, I would say. I mean, Ed had Josh at what? So Ed's, how old's Ed? 92. God, I just had a brain fart. So do the math. Josh is 40. So 52, he had Josh. So my mom was 32.
Are you ready?
32. Yeah. Yes, honey. Thanks, Melissa. Oh, yes, Sheila. Ugh, amazing. I was laying on since my kids are absent from us. I'm really alone every day. You know, and I'm sorry, Slick. You know, you have to find things. You have to find the people, your people, you know. Sometimes family is not blood, you know. Sometimes is my page, Shane, the one you're on right now. The one you're on. So, thanks, B. I saw you came in late. Sorry about your notifications. Yeah, I am happy and tired. Coda was up a lot. Very, okay. Very. Now I gotta go deal with that. 15 years. Yeah. All right, Bessie, you're eating chocolate chip strawberry pancakes. Yum, deeds. In my lives. In my lives. One yesterday was family photos, and the day before was story. You're welcome, Lisa. Thank you for telling my experience, your experience with me, us too. I love these little segments of doing the, the TikTok subscriber lives. It makes it more quaint, not as stressful. So, and nothing's wrong with Coda. Ooh, have fun, Kay. So anyhow, all right, you guys, I'm gonna head out. I'm gonna do some arms. Am I gonna do arms today? I don't think I'm gonna do any arms today. But I'm gonna go, it's gonna start raining, so I'm gonna clean up the poop. And maybe I'll try to do a subscriber live on TikTok later. So I did 7 miles between running. I ran 4 and walked 3, and I kind of ran a little bit then. So yeah, so I did about 7 miles today. So anyhow, have a great day, whatever you do. I should try, I'll try to get on tonight for our TikTok subscriber lives. Love you. Thank you for all the new subscribers today. Remember, you are important, you are worthy, and you matter, and your feelings are just that, yours. They're valid, no matter what people say or try to tell you. It's your narrative. So, love you guys. Have a great day. I will see you later. TikTok, YouTube. I will see you later too. I will see you later. Have a good one. Bye.